Hey y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. I wanted to share some empties with you guys and go over some of the products and tell you what I will be buying and will not be repurchasing. But let me go ahead and get started. I have everything in this Sephora bag. First up is my hair color, and I'm gonna share that with you because I just touched it up. So it's fresh and I'm really, really loving the shade. This Schwarzkopf brand of hair color has become my absolute favorite. If you know me, you know that I've been a fan of Revlon's Feria hair color for a very long time. I've used it so much. I go back and forth between two shades, a lighter one in the summer months and a darker one around fall, Christmas time, stuff like that. But I picked this one up around December last year and used it in, I think it was 6.5, which was a shade darker, and absolutely loved it. I did not have to touch up for months. It was literally the color, just the saturation just stayed in my hair and I loved it. The only reason that I really ever color is to remove a lot of red from my hair. I have a ton of red in my hair. But this one is the Delicate Praline 6.0 Keratin Color Anti-Aging Hair Color with Keratin Care Complex and Skin Flattering Pigments. Younger looking hair in 30 minutes, permanent color. And I really like this one. This is a shade lighter than I went last time. And it's a level 3. Love this. It is super, super pigmented, so you will, no matter what you do, Vaseline or however you try to combat getting it on your skin, you will get it on your skin and you will have a stain for 2 or 3 days, no matter what you do. I just go with it. I do it on, like, if I have to be at something on the weekends, I'll do it during the week, Monday night, and by Friday, I've cleaned up anything that needs to be cleaned up. But it eventually goes away. It leaves the color, and it's just so beautiful, and it stays so nice and so true to color for a very long time. So the Schwarzkopf Delicate Praline 6.0, which I love. Okay, next up is all of my back-to-MAC things. And you guys know that I use MAC foundation and concealer on a daily basis, so I have a lot to back-to-MAC because of that. So first up, I have 3 vials of the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW15. I use NW because of the tones under my under eyes. It just helps cover them. The NC doesn't cover as well as the NW does. So 3 of those to back-to-MAC, followed by 4, and I am on the bottom of my current foundation, so I've got actually 5 of these to back-to-MAC. The Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15 in the shade NC15. I've got 3 in the shade NC15, which is my true color. And then I have NC20, which I like to add a little bit of this to this in the summer months when I'm a little bit more tan, or I wear a little bit more bronzer. It just kind of changes the tone a little bit. This one is a little bit more yellow than this one. It's very pale. So it just adds a little bit of life into the shade. So like I said, I have 1 that I'm using right now that I'm about to finish. So I've got 5 of those to back-to-MAC. I've got 1 blot powder in the shade medium, and this is just blot powder. I use this for touch-ups during the day. Mine unfortunately never lasts very long. It always ends up broken like that. So 1 of those to back-to-MAC. The next one is the Studio Fix powder in NC15, which looks like this, and it has the little chamber for the sponge applicator here. I love this when you really want foundation covered, like foundation. If you want a heavier coverage foundation, I use both of these together. First I go in with this, and then I do this, and then I go in and contour whatever, and it just makes it super flawless. You can't see anything, and I like to cover a lot of pigmented areas that I have, and these together do it very, very well. So I always have this powder on hand in different shades. Next 2 items, a Patent Pink Patent Polish Lip Crayon, which I love. I love this color. It was a perfect shade, and as you can see, somebody stuck their finger into it. So the only finger small enough in my house to get in there is Harper's. Obviously, she decided to make an art project out of it, and it is now ruined. However, it was one of my favorite colors. It was just so pretty and pink, but patent at the same time, so shiny and pretty and pink. And lastly, a pump, which I've had this one for about 4 years, but it finally just bit the dust, and I already have a new one. I'm just waiting on that one so that I can return it with my back-to-MAC stuff. Okay, next up is my Degree Clinical Protection deodorant, because obviously I sweat a ton immensely. I have tried using all natural deodorants, the Toms, and then also, what's the other one from Sephora? La Vanilla, and I love them. I love them, and I really do wish that they would work for me. However, they don't do anything for me. I sweat. Of course, I work out on a daily basis, but I sweat. And by the time I leave the gym, I can't stand myself. So they just don't work for me, not like during the summer, especially here in Houston. Now in the winter, I've used them in the winter and they work very, very well. I don't smell or anything like that. But after a workout, I'm just like, I smell. Let me get my kids and get out of here because I stink. Please don't anybody talk to me because I smell, literally. So I just find it easier to use this. And the Summer Strength one smells so good. It smells flowery but fruity and just fresh. It smells so good. I love it. And I have an empty box because I've already opened up the new one and this is the old one. So I like that a lot. And I put my deodorant on as soon as I get out of the shower in the evenings before I go to bed. So I don't worry about streaks or anything like that, but it lasts for a long time. Next up is a Corona Hydrating Face Mask for dry, dull, dehydrated skin. These, I think I have 4 of these. These suckers are so awesome. I put them on, and of course, you walk around. I leave it on for like 20 minutes. I just kind of forget about it. But you walk around looking like a ghost, and my kids get freaked out and everything. But when you take it off and you rub the rest of the product in, your skin is just so soft. And the next morning you wake up, it's so moisturized and soft. It's just lovely. And it lasts for like 2 or 3 days after you do the mask. You will feel your skin and still feel the hydration there. And it's just really, really nice. So I think out of all the face masks I've used, this one is one of the best by far. Next, a pair or 4 pairs of lashes, the red cherry lashes. These, when I use them, I take them off and put them back in here. These are just too far gone to reuse. This is the number 415s. I love those. I also love the number 43s. I have 2 packages of 43s, and then these were the 523s, which I really liked as well, but I think these ended up like in the shower. Sometimes I take them off and I just put them on the shower door wall, and they're there, and then they get ruined because I forget to take them off when I get out and put them, on the board. Because when you put them back on here, if you reattach, the band here, they keep the shape and then the curve because of the way they were packaged. So if you just put them on the wall like I do, they end up getting ruined, and then they just ick everybody out when they take showers. Yeah, get a lot of complaints. Oh, I have a 4th concealer to back to MAC. Yay. Okay, next up, 2 nail polishes, and I painted my nails this color. I pulled it out. It's an Essie Haute in the Heat, like Haute Couture, but Haute in the Heat. And it's a beautiful fuchsia color. And guys, fuchsia and neon pink, that's my absolute favorite color. That is literally my spirit color. I love bright, beautiful, hot pinks. And I really wanted this to work for me. However, when I painted my toenails this color and I'd look down, it never did anything for me. And it's like the 3rd or the 4th time that I've tried to wear the color and just not loved it. I can paint my toes and my fingers, certain other colors, like I have red by Chanel that I love, and every time I look down, it's just beautiful and I love it. It looks elegant and I'm just, you feel good about it. But this is not, I don't know, it just did not work for me. But it's my favorite color and I don't get it because I do have this kind of shade in other brands that I absolutely love. But what do you do with nail polish that you don't want or just never worked for you, but you've already purchased and everything? And the deal is I can't give this to my daughter because my daughter is not allowed to wear red or this kind of bright pink on her fingernails. She can wear any other color, but just red. Her dad just has an issue with red and, sexy colors. But anyway, so what do you do with your nail polish once you've used it a couple of times, but you don't like it? Do you just throw it out or do you give it away? Like, what do you do with it? So I just need to know. The next one, this one came in my Ipsy bag. It's the Margaret Dabbs Fabulous Hands and Feet Nail Polish. This is infused with rose extract and it smells like, once it dries, it smells like roses and it's beautiful. I was so excited to get this. It is a beautiful teal color and I love the color teal, and teal generally looks good on everybody. And I have other shades of blue and green that work for me. However, blues, greens never work for me. And I thought maybe this one would work because it's got some blue in it. Did not work for me. We painted our toes. I did my daughter Eva's. They look beautiful. Hers looked so pretty and I was like, how pretty, okay, I'm gonna do mine. And when I did my feet, they just look like man feet. Like, greens never do anything for me. And I think it might be because my veins are so blue-green that, well, they're more blue, but they're so blue that the skin tone does not go with it. But so this one has become Eva's. But her nails, for 3 days after we painted them, she'd go, look, smell, and you'd smell them and they'd smell like roses. It's so crazy. So really, really nice. Beautiful color. It's Eva's now. I know, that's what you do with colors that you don't like, unless your daughter's not allowed to wear those colors, right? Okay, next up, the Flake Away by Soap & Glory and the Righteous Butter by Soap & Glory. Now, I know I've shared with you guys before that my kids have eczema. My son also has another skin problem where he gets, like, he needs to exfoliate. In other words, his skin cells don't turn over fast enough and slough off that they clog his pores. And because of that, he gets like little rashes that are bumpy and red and itchy, and they just look really bad, and he gets very self-conscious about it. And the way that we have learned to combat that through our doctor's guidance is to exfoliate and moisturize constantly, so that you're helping your skin turn itself over and you're keeping the moisture in it so that it won't clog your pores from the beginning. Anyway, it's just a sugar and shea butter scrub, which means it does not irritate his skin. And it has that Soap & Glory, and you can see that there's some, actually, you know what, we could probably use that. It has that perfect Soap & Glory scent, that musky kind of summery, you know, smell to it. Really pretty, clean smell that I actually have bottled because they sell the body spray as well. But this works wonders for his arms and his legs and his chest when he has those breakouts. And then as well as my daughter. And then this one, which if you have eczema, like true eczema, like Harper does, I would not suggest these because they are so fragrant. And they're dye-free, but they have a lot of heavy fragrance to them, and sometimes that itself is irritating. So we have to use very like non-fragranted, dye soaps and creams on Harper. But for my son, who doesn't suffer from eczema like that, he has a different condition, this works very, very well. So the Righteous Butter, which is also shea butter and aloe vera, the same smell, the same beautiful Soap & Glory smell. I hope you enjoyed my empties for this month. I just kind of am going to save everything in here, and when it gets full, I'll do another empty video. So thank you so much for watching.